Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship.
This week on Andrew Says, I spoke to Sonny Joy Nelson. What a name. You tell me. She is a former Trump staffer who now heads up media affairs for Getter.com, the better version of Twitter, if you ask me. I know you do. There's no censorship on there, though. We talked about how she got the job with the website and how she got the job with Trump as well. We also talked about Sesame Street and Big Bird's propaganda, and we kind of learned that Elmo's dad is pro-vaccine, while apparently being from the 1800s. It's pretty weird. Not only that, but we talked about Aaron Rodgers, the NFL QB who dared not to get vaccinated. Probably can't even talk about that. And we also got into some of the Let's Go Brandon stuff too, whether or not she thinks it's good for the culture. Black Friday is coming up just around the corner, and our sponsors at Atlas VPN have a special Black Friday deal, 86% off and 3 months for free. Atlas VPN is a tool that encrypts your data and virtual location so you can connect to the VPN server, and then once your data gets there, you get a new IP and DNS address. What does this mean, Andrew says? The traffic is then encrypted and routed towards the VPN server. When that data and traffic arrives, the VPN server decrypts the data and the information and allows the traffic to access the desired destination. When that data and traffic arrives, the VPN server decrypts the info and allows the traffic to access the desired destination, giving you access to media and websites of the selected location around the world. If you're American, that means Canadian Netflix with all the holiday movies, the Santa Claus Part 1, I hope you've seen it. That means BBC iPlayer with Top Gear. You can even get HBO. That means Sopranos, Entourage, Bill Maher. He's on there too. Click my special link in the description and get early access to the Black Friday deal with 86% off and 3 months for free. It's a deal you shouldn't pass up. And let's not forget our friends at Elevate.Farm as well. They've been with us for so long. Elevate.Farm is a technology and IP-based indoor farm that produces traditional farm-grown equivalent products at wholesale market price with a global footprint. Go to Elevate.Farm for more information or follow the link in the description. Elevate.Farm, they've been with us for so long. Go check them out. If you want to see the full version of this show, though, without ads, you can do this at rebelnews.com/Andrew Says. Finally, here's my interview with Sonny. She insists that she still has a North Carolina accent. I'm skeptical. I think she's lost it. Don't ask me. Don't ask her. Look for yourself. But don't take it too seriously. They probably won't take her back anymore, you guys. Enjoy the interview, and we'll see you next week. What do you think is the motivation, obviously from mainstream media, as we call them, or left-wing Twitter, something like that? What do you think is the motivation to sort of be like, vaccines are the only thing that are the solution, and this is the only thing you can promote or talk about? Why do you think that is?
You know, I don't know, because I feel like we saw a flip. When vaccine first came out under the Trump administration, there wasn't this like giant, huge push for vaccines and mandating them. But as soon as Joe Biden took office, now all of a sudden it's a mandate and you have to get it. And I just want to know what happened to the time when your health and your health records were kept private. Now, I mean, even you have to show your vaccine card to go out to eat at a restaurant in New York or California or all these other liberal cities. And I just cannot believe this is an America that we are living in right now. It's not one that I want to live in.
It sounds like your restrictions are pretty similar to here. What's the like the passport and vaccine proof situation in Carolina there?
We don't have any of that right now, thankfully. North Carolina has been pretty laid back, even though we do have a Democratic governor. We have an amazing lieutenant governor, Mark Robinson. So I haven't heard anything about a vaccine passport. I think if the governor tries that, it will not end very well for him. So we're kind of staying in the you wear a mask if you're not vaccinated, and you don't have to wear a mask if you are vaccinated. But they're not asking for any kind of proof or anything like that yet.
For the audience, I did ask Sonny to put on a mask for this interview, and she refused, so don't blame me, everybody. Somebody else from North Carolina, Bryson Gray, all over the Let's Go Brandon train, #1 on so many different platforms. I want to ask you about the Let's Go Brandon thing as a whole. Do you think it's an important thing? I see people on the right wing, some maybe greater minds than I, saying, you know, this is just a trope that doesn't really get anything done. Do you think it's important for the culture, or is it just sort of a distraction because it doesn't actually change anything?
You know, I think it is important, because if you look at where this chant is taking storm, it's at college football games, it's at college events. And so it just gives me so much hope to see all these young people, you know, getting involved in politics, even at the lowest level, by like a simple chant. it makes me happy to see that people actually care and they're noticing how horrible of a job Joe Biden's doing and that he's running our country into the ground. We at Getter, I'm sure you have seen, we have flown our Let's Go Brandon Join Getter banner. We've flown it across college football games, across the sky in President Trump's rallies. And it's been a great thing. We've gotten a lot of traction from it. And I think it shows really that I saw a tweet that said hatred against President Trump was manufactured and manipulated by the mainstream media. But hatred against Joe Biden is organic. It just springs up, And so it gives me a lot of hope.
What do you think is the most pressing issue in the country right now? I mean, a lot of things. I mean, when I think back to when Trump is prime minister, I think that the border was probably the most important story at the time. Is it the border? Is it inflation? Is it gas prices? Is it the supply chain? In your opinion, what do you think people should be paying most attention to?
Can I say all of the above? Because they all are just, I feel like, equally so important. Gas is so expensive right now, but the supply chain crisis is also insane. I just moved into a new house, and so I've been ordering a lot of furniture and things like that, and it has taken weeks to get here. So, I'm personally being affected by it. It's extremely annoying, in my opinion. So, we see the immigration crisis that's happening at the border. I don't think I can narrow it down to just one single thing because, you also have the vaccine mandates and people that are getting fired from their jobs, nurses and police officers that worked throughout the entire pandemic and were called heroes, but they're now getting fired because they have decided, hey, I do have some bodily autonomy. I should be able to decide what medical procedures and things like that I have happened to me. And I just think Joe Biden, he doesn't know what's going on. And it is just resulting in our country just going downhill.
Yeah, it's really weird to me how much people get a sense of self-entitlement when they tell people, that they're an idiot for not taking the vaccine or something, or like, good, that we should kick them out of their job. It's sort of like it's given, in my opinion, it's given people, this definitive thing to point to themselves and say, I'm a good person, and now here's this definitive thing that I can separate myself from other people, and if you don't have this, then you're not a good person. It's sort of like your get out of jail free card where you sort of have this societal upper hand in their mind. I think it's really weird when I see people talking that way. It's like, would you be saying this to somebody if they had cancer and you didn't have cancer? Like, it's sort of the same thing. Like, you have a medical procedure that I haven't had, so I'm better than you. It kind of creeps me out. I think that's a big problem with the culture today. But I do want to talk to you about more Getter stuff before I forget. I talked to Jason Miller a few times now. I want to get your thoughts, your story on how you got involved with it from the start. Because this is, I don't know, how many months into Getter are we?
Oh, let's see. Our official launch was on July 4th. So we're a few months in, 4 or 5 months in, and it is really just taken off. I think we're up to almost 3 million users now, if we haven't surpassed that already. So, people are attracted to freedom and the freedom of speech.
How did you get involved with Getter? Is it because you were on the Trump? I want to ask about Trump too, but and your time there. But how did you get involved with starting up the platform?
Yeah, so I've been involved with Getter since the very beginning. I worked with Jason at the campaign a little bit, and we worked together on the second impeachment at the beginning of this year. And he came to me and told me about this amazing idea and amazing opportunity, and I was very happy to jump on board because I love everything that Getter stands for. And it's very important as we're going forward and we're seeing our freedom stripped away. It is very important that there's a platform like Getter that's standing up for those freedoms when so many people are just handing their freedoms over to the government.
Jason told me when I spoke to him that he was in talks with Trump. Now, I imagine you were either behind the scenes or there with him. Did you guys get the feeling that he was going to start his own platform? Was the writing really on the wall there by the way he was speaking?
I'm not sure. I wasn't involved in any of those conversations, so I don't want to say, but we obviously are very happy that President Trump is joining the social media atmosphere again. We have missed him, and I'm excited to be able to hear directly from him once again.
Do you guys have any new features you can tell me about that are coming out? Because I've seen most of the time when if I take like a week off from going on, but I usually post my stuff. But when I'm usually sitting there browsing, I see something new, and I've always touted you guys as having the best, video uploading. It's so much faster than Twitter and the other platforms. So I appreciate that. What else new can you say that's coming?
Yeah, that is one of the great things about Getter is our superior technology, especially when it comes to uploading videos and in-app video editing. We have our live feature coming soon. Yes, I am super excited for that. I'm actually going to try to go live after we finish this. I haven't gone live yet, so I'm going to try that. That should be coming to everybody hopefully in the next few weeks or months. Right now it's available in the desktop version, and it should be coming to the mobile version soon. So we have that coming up. We also have some more giveaways coming up. The Harley Davidson Get Revin giveaway, that's a lot of G's back to back, we're actually going to announce that winner tomorrow in the Villages, Florida. Jason has announced where that's going to be. So it's going to be I don't know any other social media platform that does these amazing giveaways, but Getter, we really care about our people and our users. So I'm excited for that.
Spoiler alert that it's me who won, everybody. It's rigged. Just kidding. If you see me in a new car tomorrow or something, that's why. We want to get on the Getter Live, so if we can get on that, please let me know. Something else I wanted to ask you is you're obviously deeply involved in social media. When you were first getting your name out there with the Trump campaign and everything, did you lose friends on social media? I feel like that probably happened to a lot of us. What was that genesis like?
Yes. I did. I don't know if I would call them friends, maybe acquaintances, people I went to college or high school with, but that's something that I'm honestly not too concerned about, because when you stand up for truth and when you stand up for what's right, you're going to lose friends. It's hard to stand up for the truth and it's hard to stand up for what is right, but in the end, it's what we're called to do, and it's something that I am happy to stand for.
Were you vocal back then too, or did you just sort of keep it to yourself?
Well, in 2016, I wasn't on the campaign. I was pretty vocal on Twitter in 2016, but that was, just with my friends. 2020, yes, I tweeted all the time. So I stayed pretty vocal. And like I said, the pro-life issue was my #1 issue as it remains today. And President Trump had so many pro-life wins that you can't keep that in. When you have somebody that values the sanctity of life from the very moment of conception, that's something that you should celebrate, and it's something that I celebrated a lot.
What would you say, what comes to mind first looking back, working for Trump? What's the story that pops into your head first? I'm sure you get asked this all the time.
There's so many, but I think honestly the debates, going to the presidential debates in Cleveland and in Nashville, both of them were really, really amazing. The one in Nashville was awesome. I'm so thankful for my time there. It taught me so much, and I hope that I can continue to help President Trump in the future. Was
it weird to sit there and hear Biden pretend that he didn't know what Antifa was and Yes. I mean, yes, but also it's to be expected because it's what he's been doing for his entire life now. So it is to be expected. All right, Sonny. Thanks for joining me. I'm out of questions for you. It's fun to talk to you. Sonny Joy Nelson from Getter, you guys, still with a Carolina accent. Anything else you want to say to the Canadians? Oh, well, join Getter. Follow me on Getter. My username is @SonnyJoyNelson, and I hope you will have me back on soon, Andrew. Thanks for watching another episode of Andrew Says. If you want exclusive content, go to rebelnewsplus.com, where we talk about topics we're not allowed to show you on social media. Danger.